Moved My Cheese by Spencer Johnson. Once upon a time, there lived 4 little friends named Sniff, Scurry, Hem, and Haw. Every morning, they put on their running shoes and got ready to look for what made them happy, magical cheese. Magical cheese was special because when you found it, it made you feel good about yourself. It was hidden somewhere in a big maze where there were many different places to go. Sniff and Scurry were very smart and always remembered where they had been before, so they kept exploring in new places where the cheese might be. Sniff had a great nose. He could sniff the air and smell where the cheese was. Scurry had fast feet. He could scurry ahead and get to the cheese quickly. Hem and Haw were also smart. They read books and studied maps to find the magical cheese. "Let's try going this way," Haw would say. "I'm not so sure," Hem would answer. Hem and Haw did not want to get lost in any dark corners, so they went through the maze slowly, one step at a time. Day after day, the 4 friends searched through the large maze to find the cheese. They went into dark areas and ran into dead ends, but then they just turned around and headed off in a new direction. Then, all of a sudden, one lucky day, it happened. All 4 friends found something wonderful. What do you think it was? They found magical cheese. It was inside one of the large rooms called Cheese Station C. It had been there all the time, just waiting for someone to find it. "Whoopee!" cried Haw. "Hooray!" yelled Sniff and Scurry. Hem shouted, "There's enough here to last us all forever!" Sniff liked the orange slices that smelled nice. Scurry nibbled on the hard yellow cubes of cheese. Hem liked the kind with holes in it, and Haw enjoyed the soft white cheese, shaped like a wheel. Each began to imagine what the magical cheese could bring them. Sniff pictured himself playing with new friends at Blue Cheese Park. Scurry imagined himself scoring the winning goal in cheese soccer. Haw saw himself getting good grades at Bree Elementary School. And Hem dreamed he lived in a great home atop Sweet's Cheese Hill. Later, as night fell, they all headed toward their little houses. The next morning, Sniff and Scurry woke up early and laced up their running shoes. They raced through the maze, straight to Cheese Station C. When they got there, Sniff smelled the cheese to see if it was still fresh, and Scurry measured it to see how much was left. When they were satisfied there was enough cheese for another day, they took off their running shoes and hung them around their necks so they could find them quickly if they needed them again. Then Sniff and Scurry settled in and began to enjoy the magical cheese. Meanwhile, Hem and Haw slept later and later. "We already know where the cheese is," Hem thought. "I don't need to hurry." Haw yawned. "It's comfortable here in my bed. I will just sleep a little more." When Hem and Haw finally arrived at Cheese Station C, they made themselves right at home. Hem built himself a cheese chair to relax in. Haw wrote on the wall, "Having cheese makes you happy." Day after day, Sniff and Scurry got up early, scurried over to Cheese Station C, and measured the cheese to see what was happening. But Ham and Haw slept later and later every day. They did not pay much attention to the cheese. They just expected to always be there. Can you see what was happening to the cheese? Then, one morning, Sniff and Scurry arrived early at Cheese Station C to find that the cheese was gone. They were not completely surprised, since they had noticed the supply of cheese had been getting smaller. They knew that they were going to have to go back into the maze to look for new cheese. I bet it will be just as good as the old cheese, said Scurry. Even better, said Sniff. He squealed. The new cheese will be even better. Much later, Ham and Haw arrived at empty Cheese Station C. They looked around. They could not believe their eyes. Ham yelled, "What? No cheese? No cheese? Who moved my cheese?" Ham got very angry. He thought the cheese would always be his, something he deserved to have, no matter what. He jumped up and down, shouting, "It's not fair!" Haw was just as disappointed as Ham, but he did not yell or stamp his feet. Haw stood perfectly still, like a statue. He did not know what to do. He was shocked. Then Haw noticed something. "Ham," he said, "where are Sniff and Scurry?" Ham looked around. "I don't know," he answered. "I bet they went back into the maze to find new cheese," said Haw. "Maybe we should too." "No," said Ham. "I don't want to. It's too confusing out there in the maze. Remember how hard it was to find this cheese. It's safer to just wait until they put the old cheese back here again." Haw listened to his friend, and he became afraid too. "I guess you are right, Ham," Haw said. The next day, Ham and Haw went back to empty Cheese Station C. They were hoping the cheese would come back. Every day, they waited and waited and waited, hoping for everything to be just like it was before. Meanwhile, Sniff and Scurry were sniffing and scurrying through the maze, looking for new cheese. Some days, they found little bits of magical cheese and stopped for a quick snack. They always left some behind for their friends, Ham and Haw. Then they found a new area of the maze. It was called Cheese Station N. The cheese supply was 10 times bigger than back at Cheese Station C. But Ham and Haw were still waiting back at empty Cheese Station C. Finally, Haw looked at his friend and started laughing. "Haw, look at us. We look funny. Things have changed, but we haven't changed." Ham was too mad to laugh. But when Haw laughed at himself, he felt better. Then Haw wrote on the wall, "What would you do if you weren't afraid?" Haw knew. "Let's go into the maze, Ham." But Ham said, "No, I don't want to." For a change, Haw did not listen to Ham. He said, "It's time to change and find new magical cheese." Haw shouted, "It's maze time!" and ran into the maze. At first, Haw was nervous because he did not know what was going to happen. But the more Haw thought about how much he would enjoy new magical cheese, the more confident he became. He felt free. He wondered, "Why do I feel so good?" Haw realized it was because he was not so afraid. He wrote on the wall, When you stop being afraid, you feel good. Hall hoped that Ham might come along and read the handwriting on the wall. Hall even drew arrows to show which way he was going. Then he ran on into the maze, and there, around the corner, he came upon Cheese Station E, and he found nothing. Cheese Station E was empty except for a few bits of cheese. I bet there used to be more cheese here, but Sniff and Scurry probably ate it, Hall said. If I had just changed it faster, I could have shared it with them. He went over and wrote on the wall of Cheese Station E. The sooner you let go of old cheese, the sooner you find new cheese. As Hall went into new areas of the maze, he found more and more bits of magical cheese. It did not taste anything like the old cheese he was used to. Hall was surprised. It tastes better. I will go back and tell him about this. So he went back through the maze, all the way back to his friend in Cheese Station C. When Hall arrived, he found Ham lying on the floor. Ham! He cried. Ham! Ham said weakly, Oh, I'm so glad to see you. It's lonely here. Did you find more cheese out there? The kind I like, with the holes in it? Well, no, said Hall, but I did find a few bits of new magical cheese. It's really good. Here, try some. Oh, no, said Ham. I don't think I would like it. I will just wait until they put my old cheese back. Ham, the old cheese is gone, said Hall. It's time for us to find new cheese. I know it seems scary at first, but once you get going, it's fun. No, said Ham stubbornly. So sadly, Hall waved goodbye and went back into the maze. Hall was sad because his friend would not change. But he was not going to stay in empty Cheese Station C, feeling sorry for himself. He wanted to explore the maze as he really believed he could find new cheese. Soon, Hall raced along and exclaimed, Aha! I feel good because I have changed. I'm doing something new. It's fun. I like the new me. Then Hall entered the darkest part of the maze. To help him find his way, Hall imagined his new magical cheese. He pictured himself finding and enjoying his new magical cheese. He felt better and better. Hall thought, seeing this picture is like having a dream, even while I'm wide awake. It seems so real. What do you think your new cheese could be? The more Hall imagined himself finding something better, the easier it was for him to find his way. He stopped and wrote on the wall, Imagine your new cheese helps you find it. When Hall moved on, he found himself in a part of the maze with new smells and new colors. It was brighter and welcoming. Then Hall rounded the corner and was absolutely amazed at what he saw. Can you guess what it was? Right in front of Hall was Cheese Station N. Wow! Look at all this new magical cheese! Hall exclaimed. He dove right into it, just like he had imagined. Then he shouted, This is better than the old cheese! Hall's dream had come true. He was so happy. Then he heard the sound of laughter. Hall looked over and saw Sniff and Scurry, who were so glad that Hall had arrived. Hall realized, I should have moved to the new cheese sooner, the way Sniffy and Scurry did. Hall helped Scurry measure the cheese to see how much was really there. From now on, I'm going to pay attention to what is happening with the cheese. Then he wrote on the wall, Smell the cheese often, so you know when it is getting old. Later, Hall thought about his journey through the maze. He had learned a lot. It seemed like only yesterday he believed change happened to him, like when someone moved his cheese from cheese station C. Now he realized that the best change happens inside of you, like when you believe a change can lead to something better. After thinking about his time in the maze, he wrote on the wall what he had learned. The handwriting on the wall. Having cheese makes you happy. What would you do if you weren't afraid? When you stop being afraid, you feel good. The sooner you let go of old cheese, the sooner you find new cheese. Imagine your new cheese helps you find it. Smell the cheese often so you know when it is getting old. Move to the new cheese and enjoy it. All of a sudden, Hall thought he heard a sound somewhere in the maze. Was someone coming? Had Ham read the handwriting on the wall and found his way? Hall turned his head and crossed his fingers for good luck. He hoped with all his might that maybe his friend was finally able to move to the new cheese and enjoy it. The end. Thanks for reading with me today. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. 谁动了我的奶酪？从前住着4个好朋友，他们是秀秀、聪聪和哼哼、唧唧。每天早上，他们穿上跑步鞋，准备好去寻找让他们快乐的东西——神奇奶酪。神奇奶酪很特别，因为当你找到它的时候，你会对自己很满意。它被藏在一个巨大的迷宫里，里面四通八达。秀秀和聪聪非常聪明，他们总是记得他们曾去过什么地方，于是他们总是开发未曾去过的地方，也许奶酪会在那里。秀秀有灵敏的嗅觉，它可以嗅觉空气，闻到奶酪的味道。聪聪有飞快的步伐，它可以跑在最前面，快速地拿到奶酪。哼哼和唧唧也很聪明，他们看书、看地图，去寻找奶酪。我们试着走这边，唧唧会说。我不太确定，哼哼会回答。哼哼和唧唧不想迷失在黑暗的角落里，于是他们在迷宫里缓慢地行走着，一次走一步。日复一日，4个好朋友在这个巨大的迷宫里寻找着神奇奶酪。他们走到黑暗的地方，跑进死胡同，然后他们转身，朝着另一个方向行走。突然，一个幸运的一天，奇迹发生了。4个好朋友找到了很神奇的东西。你觉得会是什么呢？他们找到了神奇奶酪。它在其中一个巨大的房间里，被称作奶酪C站。它一直都在那里，等待着被发现。哇！唧唧喊着，好棒！秀秀和聪聪叫着，哼哼喊着，这足够永远让我们吃的。秀秀喜欢橙色的片状奶酪，真好闻。聪聪嚼着硬硬的黄色块状奶酪。哼哼喜欢里面有洞洞的那种，唧唧喜欢白色软软的奶酪，像车轮形状。 每个人都在想象着神奇奶酪会给他们带来什么。秀秀想象着他跟新朋友在蓝色奶酪公园一起玩，匆匆想象着他在奶酪足球队射中关键的一球，积极想象着他在布里奶酪小学得了好成绩，哼哼想象着他住在瑞士奶酪山顶的大房子里。稍后夜晚降临，他们都回去各自的小家。第二天早晨，秀秀和匆匆起得很早，系好鞋带，他们像赛跑一样，直接来到奶酪C站。当他们到达那里，秀秀闻了闻奶酪，看是否还很新鲜，匆匆则测量着还剩多少。当他们很满意这些奶酪足够第二天的，他们脱下跑步鞋挂在脖子上，这样即使他们还需要用的时候，可以马上穿上。然后秀秀和匆匆开始享用这些神奇奶酪。同时，哼哼和唧唧睡得很晚很晚。我们已经知道奶酪在哪里，哼哼想，我就不需要着急了。唧唧伸了个懒腰，被窝里真舒服，我再睡一会儿。当哼哼和唧唧最终到达奶酪C站的时候，他们直接把那里当成了家。哼哼给自己搭了个奶酪椅子来休息，唧唧在墙上写着拥有奶酪让你快乐。日复一日，秀秀和匆匆起早去奶酪C站检测奶酪，看看发生了什么。但是哼哼和唧唧每天睡得越来越迟，他们没有太过注意这些奶酪，他们只是期待着它会一直在那里。你能看到这些奶酪发生了什么吗？然后一个早晨，秀秀和匆匆还是早早来到奶酪C站，发现奶酪不见了。他们不是很惊讶，因为他们已经注意到奶酪的数量渐渐变少。他们知道他们需要重新回到迷宫寻找新的奶酪。我打赌会跟原先的奶酪一样好，匆匆说。甚至更好，秀秀说，新的奶酪会更好。过了很久，哼哼和唧唧终于来到了空空的奶酪C站。他们四处查看，他们不敢相信他们的眼睛。哼哼喊着，什么？没有奶酪？没有奶酪？谁动了我的奶酪？哼哼异常生气，他以为奶酪会一直是他的，他值得拥有的东西，不管怎样。他上跳下跳，叫喊着，这不公平。唧唧和哼哼一样很失望，但是他没有叫喊，也没有跺脚，他像雕塑一样站着一动不动。他不知道怎么做，他完全惊呆了。然后唧唧意识到了什么。哼哼，他说，秀秀和匆匆哪里去了？哼哼看了看四周，我不知道，他回答。我打赌他们又回去迷宫去寻找新的奶酪了，唧唧说。也许我们也应该这样。不，哼哼说，我不想去，迷宫里太复杂了，还记得是多么艰难才找到这些奶酪的吗？安全起见，还是在这里等待那些曾经的奶酪再次被放回来。唧唧听着他的朋友，他也很害怕。我想你是对的，唧唧说。第二天，哼哼和唧唧再次回到空空的奶酪C站，他们希望奶酪会回来。每天，他们等待着，等待着，等待着，希望一切又回到跟从前一样。同时，秀秀和匆匆在迷宫里穿梭，寻找新的奶酪。有时候他们会找到一些神奇奶酪的碎片，停下来赶紧吃完，补充体力。他们总是留一些给他们的朋友哼哼和唧唧。接着，他们找到了迷宫里新的一处，叫做奶酪N站，里面的奶酪是奶酪C站的10倍。但是哼哼和唧唧还在空空的奶酪C站等待。 最终，吉吉看着他的朋友开始大笑。吉吉啊，吉吉，看看我们太可笑了。事情已经改变了，但是我们还没改变。哼哼还是很生气，根本笑不出来。当吉吉嘲笑他自己的时候，他感觉好了一些。接着吉吉在墙上写着：如果你不害怕，你会怎么做？吉吉知道。哼哼，我们回去迷宫吧。但是哼哼说：不，我不想。不一样的是，吉吉没有听哼哼的。他说：是时候改变了，去找新的奶酪。吉吉喊着：迷宫，我来了！消失了踪影。一开始吉吉很紧张，因为他不知道会发生什么。但是吉吉想着，等他找到神奇奶酪会很享受的时候，他就越来越自信。他毫无顾忌。他想，为什么我感觉这么好呢？吉吉意识到，那是因为他不再害怕。他在墙上写着：当你停止害怕，你会感觉很好。吉吉希望哼哼也许会跟上来，读着墙上的字。吉吉甚至画了箭头，指着他跑的方向。然后他跑进了迷宫。那里，在角落里，他发现了奶酪驿站，看到什么也没有，奶酪驿站空空的，除了一些奶酪碎片。我打赌这里曾经有很多奶酪，但是也许被秀秀和聪聪吃了。吉吉说，如果我早点改变想法，我也许跟他们分享了这些奶酪。他回来在奶酪驿站的墙上写道：越早丢弃那些曾经的奶酪，越快找到新的奶酪。当吉吉在迷宫新的领域里寻找的时候，他找到了越来越多的神奇奶酪碎片。它跟曾经的奶酪味道一点也不一样。吉吉很惊讶，它的味道更好。我要回去把这些都告诉哼哼。于是他穿过迷宫回去，直到他朋友所在的奶酪C站。当吉吉到达的时候，他发现哼哼躺在地上。哼哼，他喊着，哼哼。哼哼很虚弱地说，吉吉，我很高兴又看到你。这里我很孤单。你在外面找到奶酪了吗？我喜欢的那种，中间有洞洞的。没有，吉吉说，但是我找到了一些神奇奶酪的碎片，味道很好，来尝一尝。不用了，哼哼说，我不觉得我会喜欢它，我还是等着他们把曾经的奶酪放回来吧。哼哼，那些曾经的奶酪已经没有了，吉吉说，现在是时候去发现新的奶酪了。我知道一开始会令人害怕，但是一旦你继续下去，它很有趣。不，哼哼抽泣着。于是很悲伤的吉吉挥手再见，又回到了迷宫里。吉吉很伤心，因为他的朋友不愿意去改变。但是他是不会留在这空空的奶酪C站的，为自己遗憾。他想去探索迷宫，因为他坚信他会找到新的奶酪。很快，吉吉越走越快，兴奋地喊着，啊哈，我感觉很好，因为我改变了我自己。我在做一件新的事情，它很有趣，我喜欢新的我。然后吉吉走进了迷宫里最黑暗的地方。为了能帮他找到方向，吉吉想象着他的神奇奶酪。他想象着他是如何享受那些新的神奇奶酪，他的感觉越来越好。吉吉想，脑子里的图画像是一场梦，即使我是清醒的，它看上去是那么真实。你觉得你的新奶酪会是什么样的呢？吉吉越是想着他能找到更好的奶酪，他就越容易找到方向。他停下来，在墙上写着： 想象着你的新奶酪会帮你找到它。当吉吉继续前行的时候，他发现迷宫里充满了新的味道和新的颜色，更明亮，更令人接受。然后吉吉在拐角为他所看到的惊呆了。你能猜一猜是什么吗？在他面前的是奶酪 N 站。哇，看看这些新的神奇奶酪！吉吉兴奋地喊着，他跳进里面，就像他想象的那样。然后他叫着，这比原来的奶酪更好。吉吉的梦想实现了，他太高兴了。然后他听到了笑声，吉吉看过去，原来是秀秀和聪聪。他们很高兴看到吉吉也来了。吉吉意识到，我应该更早一点过来的，就像秀秀和聪聪那样。吉吉帮助聪聪测量那里有多少。从现在开始，我要留心这些奶酪的变化。然后他在墙上写着，经常检查这些奶酪，这样你会知道它什么时候变坏。稍后，吉吉想着他在迷宫里的旅程，他学到了很多。似乎是昨天，他认为什么东西对他发生了变化，就像当某人从奶酪C站把他的奶酪拿走的时候。现在他意识到，最好的改变是来自内心的。当你认为改变会带来更好的东西的时候，在他思考了迷宫里的一切之后，他在墙上写下了他学到的。拥有奶酪让你快乐。如果你不再害怕，你会怎么做？当你停止害怕的时候，你会感觉很好。越早抛弃曾经的奶酪，越早找到新的奶酪。想象着新的奶酪会帮你找到方向。经常检查这些奶酪，这样你会知道它们什么时候会变坏。发现新的奶酪并享用它。突然，吉吉觉得他听到从迷宫某处传来的声音。是有人来了吗？哼哼有没有看到墙上的字，找到他的路呢？吉吉转过身，交叉手指，期盼好运。他竭尽全力地希望他的朋友能最终找到新的奶酪，并享用它们。好，这里是小书虫，好书天天读，好书一起读，我们下次见。